Alright. Oh, 1 second. Oh my goodness. There we are. There's the sound. Hello. Hello. Welcome to day 52. Would be 53, but I had to take Sunday off. Day 52 of the Naruto Frizzyninja Ultimate Fight series, where we're going to crack straight into it because I ain't got time. Ain't got time to lose, ain't got time to spare. Yeah, I'm back from, I would love to say back from hiatus, but that's a bit too much. Back from three days, well, technically 3 streaming days break, but the last time I streamed was this time, last week, so a week's break. Yeah, for obviously a multitude of reasons, which I have plenty of updates to get in this week. So excited about that, excited to share what's been going on, and just excited to get back into this and just get some more stuff going, because Lordy knows I need to. But yeah, but first, roll call. Cup of tea, as always. Boysenberry stracciatella ice cream with, and I'll actually, after I share my other bits, with another special guest within the ice cream. And 1 second, if I can finish this fight. Beans. 1 glass of water. A giant glass of water, actually. Okay, I should totally be able to finish this fight. Come on. There we go. Whoa. And another giant glass of water. Lovely. Now for the special guest in my ice cream. So I have a lovely boysenberry stracciatella ice cream. Before it all falls out. Oh my goodness. Is it all gonna fall out? No, it shouldn't all fall out. I don't know if you can see, like, right at the bottom. What I have. What is that? Some kind of biscuity substance? Well, my good Mrs. and Sirs, you would be correct, but it's not just any biscuit. You know those little, like, the Danish butter cookies that you get in, like, the tin, like the sewing kit tin? We bought some at the supermarket earlier on. We've already finished 1 layer between the two of us. Oh goodness. Arteries are not going to be thanking us tomorrow or for the rest of our lives. Anyway, but we all die from something. So, and I'm going to die from Danish butter cookies. So that is my meal this evening. So that's the roll call. And yeah, so, I mean, we know the drill. We come here and we do lots of fights. I'm wanting to aim to get to 7,500 today. I know I can. If I just gotta go hard, go fast, and not faff around with too much with character creation, or not character creation, character selecting. Yeah, but so. So last week, well, first off, we're getting close to Christmas. Very excited. There's gonna be lots of streaming around Christmas, I can tell you that. It's gonna be fabulous. And yeah, so we're getting close to Christmas. Work is heating up. Well, is it heating up? It's heating up, but then at the same time it's not. Like, it's heating up in the sense that, you know, we need stuff to be done, but then clients are turning their brains off. But then that means that we have to work harder to get, like, you know, our billable hours up for the rest of the month. Like, so it's like 60% of my hours that I do at work in a month need to be able to be charged to a client. So we all kind of, you know, everyone's got their different allocations. So mine's 60%. So most of my colleagues will also be 60%. So, but you know, I just worry about me. But anyway, So yeah, work's ramping up. The first update. Why was I not streaming over the last week? Well, so the boys' family was down. Oh, I say family. Mum and Dad were down. Had an absolute blast of a time. They enjoyed their time, which I could not wish for more for. And we had a blast with them, so even better. Yeah, so they came down on Friday morning, and then we went out. So that night we did we go for dinner that night? No, we went out for dinner the next night. What did we have that night for tea? We had something. What did we have that night for tea? Oh my lordy, I cannot even remember. We had fish and chips for tea, that was it. Yeah, so had that tea. Saturday we went out to a lovely restaurant, a steakhouse that me and the boy have gone to a couple times. Fabulous, was lovely. We had to wait fair bit for the food. The waitress seemed like she was brand new. I'm like, oh, do you got iced chocolates? And she's like, yep. And then I was looking at the drinks menu. I'm like, oh, they don't have iced chocolates. And then like 5 minutes later, she came back. She's like, yeah, no, they ain't got no iced chocolates. I'm like, all goods. I'll have a lemon lime and bitters actually. So it was fun. But yeah, so dinner was lovely. And what else? And then Sunday, the best day, was the boy's birthday. And it was fabulous. It was such a fabulous day. It was an eventful day actually. So went out, got the boy some breakfast. Went to the supermarket. We had a big lovely cooked breakfast that I made for the boy, because he does love his big breakfasts. It's like sausages and hash browns and bacon and tomatoes and mushrooms and toast and eggs, and oh, it's lovely. It was delicious. So that was enjoyable. And then they're like, oh, so we're gonna go fishing at the beach. Do you want to come? I'm like, yeah. Like, not at that point, not so much for the fishing, but just, you know, hang out with my boy on his birthday. And I suppose actually probably the catalyst to that was the part of the catalyst to that was for the boy's birthday. The birthday present I got him was a tackle box and a filleting knife to help with his fishing. Then when we went to the beach, went to the beach, put the rods out. Him and his dad, you know, got all their stuff, put all their rods out, whatnot. So I was just I bought my crossword books, because I don't know how to fish, and I was expecting, for like 2 times I've been out with them when they've gone fishing. Obviously they haven't got any fish. Yeah, to me it just always felt like fishing when you plant your, especially ocean or surf casting, where basically you're doing it in the sea. Basically you throw your line out, you come back, you stick it in the sand, or this little like thing that you put in the sand to hold it there. You sit there for about 2 hours, you pull up, you've got no fish. Okay, never mind. So they put it out, and then I can see, you know, they're staring at the tops of the thing. I'm like, well, how do you know when there's a fish on there? It's like, oh, well, you know, the top will stop, will like, you know, you kind of watch the tip of your rod. And I'm also going to be imparting some great fishing knowledge onto you guys as well shortly. Yeah, top of the rod, it will kind of like bow like that. And when it starts like bowing like keeps like that, it's a fish is that like caught and is like tugging and trying to swim away. So that's when you start reeling, when you see that. So, you know, standing there watching, and I can see it's kind of going like that, and it's like that, and like that, and I'm like, is that the waves? And he's like, no, that's a crab. Basically what crabs do is, and I hope I get this right, what crabs do is they grab the line with their claws, and they're pulling the line down, nibble a bit on the bait and let it go, and pull it down, nibble on the bait and let it go, and that's what that motion is. So if it's like slow motion like that, it's most likely a crab. Just having a little thing, and then if it like does like a teeny little bit of like a shiver for a couple of seconds and then stops, that's just, you know, fish are nibbling. They're nibbling on the bait, but they're not biting. So anyway, so probably about half an hour, 45 minutes passes. They're just standing there. You know, I'm in the car doing my jigsaw puzzles. Me and his mum are like eating like shortbread biscuits in the back. And then, you know, him and Sam's all like milling around. There's like, because the spot on the beach that we're on, there was a fair bit of people fishing at the same time. Like the whole line of us all the way down the beach. You know, I can see some people look like that they'd caught a fish, and I'm just like, oh, hope we do. But anyway, there was people on jet skis as well, so we were like, oh god, they're gonna end up scaring all the fish away like mongrels. But anyway, so then I'll sit in the car, you know, just watching. The boy comes up and starts talking to me, and then I look up and I see the top of his rod go, and I'm like, ugh. And he like turns around, he's like, oh my god, and he's like gaps it over, and he starts like reeling, you know, do it like that, and then lo and behold, a fish had bitten the line, and he had nabbed a fish. So his dad ran over, you know, grabbed the fish when it was close enough to the shoreline. Yeah, and then like helped pull it in, and we had a fish. It was amazing. And then obviously, you know, with any kind of food acquisition from an animal, you gotta bleed it. So his dad showed them how to bleed it, which I won't go into the details on here. Just just in case it distresses anyone. Anyway, the fish was no longer on this mortal coil. Anyway, tucked in the box. Well, oh my goodness. So, basically from that point on, him and his dad were like, we're gonna keep going. So then, good like 15 minutes later, his dad gets a fish. And it was like, I think it was like a big one. It was a giant one. And then, yes, they pulled that one in, and then like 10-15 minutes later, his dad gets another fish, but it's a smaller one. And so this one, they got me to be the one that runs out and grabs it to help pull it in. It was so slimy and like, ugh. Anyway, so then, long story short, this goes on and on. By the end of the day, we've caught 10 fish. It was insane how many fish we caught. It was so, and now I'm like, hey Bert, can you show me how to fish? Because it was like, when you see that top of your line like start doing this little wobbly, it's so exciting. It's actually so exciting just seeing it happen. Cause like, oh my god, I got one, you know. And then yeah, so and then there was one time where the boy had caught one. Reeling with them, you see the fish flipping and flopping on the waves. You're like, oh my goodness, he's got another one, and it doesn't look small either. Pulls it in. So then of course I go right out to grab the line, and then as I lift it up, the fish falls off the hook onto the sand as the tide's like coming in, and they're like, oh my god, grab it, you gotta grab it. So I'm like trying to like grab it, and it's like, when you don't realize, when you're not like prepared for it, fish are strong when they're like wiggling and whatever. Like you really gotta like be really firm with it, because I didn't know that. So I'm like, it's like flipping and flopping all out of my grasp, because I'm just not prepared for that sort of thing, and also I'm not used to it, I guess. And then the tights like come in and they're like, grab it, you gotta grab it. And then the boy just like throws it on the side and just runs over, just like pins it down. So they like, if I had let that go, if it had gone off with the waves, I would have had to walk home that day. I would have not have heard the end of it. So lucky the boy came over when he did. But next time I'll be a little bit more prepared. It was kind of like one of those things that you can't be half-hearted about it. You just got to go all in. Yeah, so that was fun, I guess. Yeah, but then long story short, yeah, we got 10 fish, and it was funny too because there came a point where you just see all the other people all the way down the beach, and they're like looking at us like you can see they're probably like, what the hell? Those guys have got the meat spot. You know, no one else seemed to be catching fish. There was even like a couple of like boys who were fishing, and they kept like looking at us and like moving their spot because they were like full on in the waves, like wading in. They were like watching where we were and trying to cast in the same spot. And I'm just like, nah guys, this is our spot for it. Hey Hashirama, can you stop? There we go. There we go, that's better. Yeah, so I might have caught the fishing bug a little bit, teeny little bit. So the boy next time he's gonna teach me how to do it. Not us. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. And so then obviously that when we got home, because we recently bought a barbecue. So oh my goodness, we're having fish for tea tonight. So then him and his dad, you know, prepping the fish, and filleting it and all that sort of stuff. And then because they'd gotten a smoker, like a little portable smoker, so then we smoked some fish. We cut some up in fillets, and it was absolutely delicious. Like my goodness, for my first time having like a non-fish and chip. I say my first time having a non-fish and chip fish, as well as salmon, you know, and smoked as well. It was delicious. It was fabulous. So we had an amazing dinner, and then we had amazing birthday cake afterwards, and then the next day, because we ended up having like heaps of fillets left over, so I was in charge of crumbing them, so I crumbed them. I put that on the barbecue. Oh my god, those were like, I could have eaten that every night. It was so good. It was so delicious. Yeah, it was just an amazing day. But the downside to it all was we all got very terribly sunburnt. Like, terribly sunburnt. So like we all got sunburnt on our faces. Like I was like me to the point where my face so wasn't prepared for it that it swelled up, not terribly overnight, but I woke up Monday morning getting ready for work and I'm like, oh no, I can't go into work like this. So yeah, and then on the tops of on the back of our calves, but like right at the top, just under the knee joint, we got really badly burnt there as well. Like it was absolutely painful for a few days. Yeah, so just goes to show kids, sunscreen helps. And of course, now that I've been badly sunburned again, obviously it's not the first time in my life it's happened, but now I'm on my whole I'm gonna get skin cancer when I'm older train, and looking into ways to prevent skin cancer, and how to detect it, because I'm now waiting for it. Basically I'm waiting for it. Something was that bad. And yeah, so that was the only bad thing, I suppose, about it. But it was a lovely day, and I'm just glad the boy enjoyed his birthday, and I'm glad that his mum and dad had a great day. It was just a fabulous, fabulous day. Couldn't have asked for anything better. And I hope that the boy thinks the same. And yeah, and then the following day was his mum's birthday. So I had to go to, well actually no, I had to work, but I was working from home, which was alright. And then yeah, so the boy boy and her and dad went out to go shopping. I'll be working, and then that night, what do we have? Oh yeah, we had the fish fillets for tea, and then we got another cake, which was a delicious carrot cake, and yeah, and then just had like deep meaningful combos with his mum while the boy and his dad were out barbecuing the fish. So you know, having the deep chat about life, the universe, and everything, as you do. Yeah, it was just a chill day. It was amazing. It was just such a good weekend. Like, it was such a good weekend. And what else? I feel like there was something else that was going on as well. Possibly? Was it? I feel like I've missed something out. I feel like I missed something out. Oh, had my first experience filling up, well, not me filling up a gas bottle, but going to get a gas bottle filled up, because we bought a new one with our barbecue, and so I went to the petrol station with his mum. Oh, the laundromat. Okay, that's the next story. Yeah, so went to the petrol station with his mum, and I was like, do I bring the bottle inside, or do I just go in and ask? She's cracking up. She's like, oh my god, okay, just go in and ask, and they'll tell you what to do. I'm like, okay. So I go in and I'm like, can you just fill up my gas bottle, please? And he's like, yeah, just stick it out there next to that thing. I'm like, okay. So then I'm like, I go and put it out, and I'm just like, do I stand here, or do I go stand by my car, or like, what do I do? So I was like, so when awkward, let's stand by my car. I'm like, yeah. And then the guy came out to obviously go fill it up. I'm just like, do I go stand by him, or what? So I went out, and then he was just asking me a couple of questions about, you know, had it been filled up before, or, you know, was it brand new? And I was like, yeah, it's brand new. And he's like, oh, how much did you end up paying for it? And I'm like, pass. I wasn't the one that bought it, or at least I didn't pay attention to how much it cost. I was there on that shopping trip, but anyway. So yeah, so he was just telling me some stuff about, you know, the process, you know, and I'm just like, look, hey, if he was doing it because I was a woman that obviously had no idea what she was doing, then he was goddamn right, and I gladly welcome his explanation. I gladly welcomed it. So now I know, you know, I knew to some extent about LPG gas from working at a supermarket. Like, I know that you can freeze yourself, like it's cold. So that's why they wear gloves when you're supposed to wear gloves and goggles when you're handling it, just because it can literally freeze your hands off. Yeah, so I knew that, but then like in terms of like filling in LPG gas bottles, now I know. So to that petrol station guy, thank you. Thank you for showing me stuff. But anyway, I digress. So then I went back to the car, I'm like, and then I like went to his mum, like, do I go in and pay for it now? And she's like, oh my god, yes. Like, I just walk away with, you know, just get it filled up and walk away. I'm like, okay. Well, like, I knew I needed to pay for it, but I didn't know, like, should I have paid before, or do I pay now? Like, anyway, so I got all paid for. The gas bottles filled up. So that was fabulous. And as I remember, it's the laundromat. Oh my lordy. So yeah, so for those who tuned in last time, they'll know that my washing machine killed itself. Probably with some aid from me and the boy, but it's dead nonetheless. So we knew we had to go to the laundromat. So on Saturday, I put my hand up to go to the laundromat. So, and because they've got like giant ones as well, so I'm like, we're just gonna chuck everything in there except our white work shirts. And we actually did. I managed to chuck in all of our dirty towels and all of the stuff, as well as a few of his mum's clothing as well. And yeah, so we did that. Go and drive into town. And of course there's the blimmin' like Christmas parade going on right through the middle of town. So I'm like, oh beans. So there's detours everywhere. It takes me like an extra 5 minutes to even get to the laundromat. So I'm lucky enough to be able to get a park, like literally right outside. So I was lucky in that sense because it was on the main road. So I go in and I pay for like, there's like a machine where you get your laundromat card from. Topped it up. Put all my stuff in, like, you know, found it's kind of like with the bathroom stall right at the end. It was kind of like me with like the giant washing machines. I got the one right at the end next to the wall. Put all my stuff in there and I'm looking at it and I'm like, and then so, you know, a beep on my little settings. It's like, please add powder. And I'm like, beans. I forgot to bring the washing powder. And then I looked around and there was a guy there who was loading up his stuff and I could see it. I could see he had washing powder with him. And kind of, I stood there for about a good 10 seconds, or as I was loading in the clothes. I was deliberating. I was like, right, I've got 2 options here. No, 3 options here. 1, I go home. I take all my stuff out. I go home and I go grab the washing powder and I come back. Carry on. Step 2, I ask the gentleman, I'm like, I'm very sorry, but can I use a scoop of your washing powder? Or 3, carry on just run the washing machine without the washing powder and hope for the best. I should have done 1 or 2. I ended up going with number 3. So just put it in, put it on a cold wash or whatever. 30 minutes later, you know, done. Just set myself up with my crossword book in my car. I was amazing. So then, you know, the washing machine finishes. I pull it out and I'm like, I'm smelling the first lot of clothes. I'm like, okay, it's not too bad, not too bad. I pull all the rest of the stuff out and I kind of check like the last little bits that come out and I'm like, is that my brain telling me something's wrong or am I just imagining things? So then I put all the, because I wasn't going to use the dryers there, we were just going to dry it at home, and the sun was quite sunny that day as well. So then I got all my stuff in the back of the seat, in the baskets. I then needed to, because in the length of time I was at the laundromat, they'd closed more of the road off, so I couldn't even get back to our house from our side of town. So like imagine like, you know, we live on the north side of this town, and so obviously, you know, and the laundromat was in the middle, so but there was no way back going up north to get to our house. We'd have to go south onto the motorway and back up and take the stop that we normally do, because there's a motorway that goes right past. You can either jump off at the north or south. So okay, I'm like, oh beans, okay, I'm gonna have to take the motorway. That's fine. We've gone this sort of direction when we went to go pick up Indian a couple of nights, so I think I know the thing. So I get to where the Indian shop is, go back to the motorway, I get on the motorway, I'm like, oh beans, I've taken the motorway bit going south. So I'm like, okay, that's alright, I'm just gonna have to make a U-turn on the motorway. So then I'm, of course, me being a numpty, missed the 2 turn-offs that I could have very easily have taken off, done a little thing and gone back on the motorway up north. So I ended up going like a good 10 minutes down the road, halfway to the Blimmin airport, and then I finally get to a roundabout that I can U-turn around. So what was going to be probably like an 8-minute journey home from the laundromat turned into like 20. So that was fun. So I got home. At this point the boy called because this was when, oh no, that's right, no, him and his mum and dad had gone to the beach. And they wanted to know, you know, if I was going to be able to make it. I'm like, I took a wrong turn on the motorway, and the clothes stink at the laundromat, and just, no, they have a good time. So got home, put the stuff out. What did I need to? Oh, and then I needed to go back into town to grab the boys' birthday cake. So then I'm just like, oh my goodness, like I'm burning through so much petrol in my car, and oh my good lordy. But anyway, so then I go and pick up the cake and I come back home and I'm like, right, gonna grab the washing powder and I'm gonna do a proper wash at the laundromat. But then I'm thinking, oh, well, because they've bloody closed off all the roads with this Christmas parade that I think is now fully in full swing, I'm not gonna be able to get back to the laundromat, am I? Unless I go like super, I'm gonna be huffing it around town with these 3 baskets of washing. I'm gonna look like an absolute muppet. So then, luckily there's another town about 5 minutes up the road from us that has the same laundromat, so the cart I've got will work there. So I end up hoofing it all the way up further up the motorway to this other town. Hello, how are you? Oh, okay, am I being loud and obnoxious? Okay. I'm telling the laundromat story. Yeah. I've gotten to the... Oh, and he's gone. Never mind. Anyway. Yeah, so I hoof it up the road, 5 minutes up the road to this other laundromat. Town's like pristine, quiet, peaceful, amazing. I go, Google Maps on my phone to get to the laundromat. Get to the laundromat, there's hardly anyone there. Pull up, like right in front of the door, take my stuff out. I've got my washing powder there that I've like double, triple checked that it's there. Go in, go to the giant, huge, mega washing machine, put my stuff in. Please put powder in. I got you. 2 scoops of powder in there. Sit back with my crossword book. Wait 20 minutes, half an hour for my washing to be done. My washing's done. I get it out. I put it back in the baskets, load it into the car, and then I go home. And then I pull out, get the clothes horse. His dad, the boy and his dad actually managed to fix the washing line at that point, because we thought the washing line was broken, but actually there was just a dial on the side that we were too blind to see that let you unwind it, so that was all fixed. So now we've got double the washing line space that we normally have, because we've literally been just using one clothes horse for like the last year and a half. But yeah, so do that, and as I'm loading on the towels, the boy and the fam get home, and I'm like, all the washing is done, the day is good, I'm feeling better again. And all our clothes are washed and ready for the week, so silver lining to everything. And now I'm just like, if laundromats weren't so goddamn expensive, well, at least here. And then again, actually, I think about it, $9 to wash practically all of our clothes. It's like what would normally, the time that it would normally take to wash all of our clothes on an average weekend would generally be something like, we'll do 3 loads, and they take about an hour and a half each. So 4.5 hours, 3 loads, 6 scoops or 4.5 scoops of washing powder. Whereas laundromat for $9 is all 3 loads of washing in one, and it takes about half an hour because I put on a cold wash. Beautiful. And for those who are like, what do you mean you're putting all your washing in? What happened to the whole lights and darks? It's like, the only kind of separation that we ever do is we just don't wash the white work shirts with anything else, with dark stuff, just because I'm paranoid. But literally anything else is all going in the same wash. Like I am not as fussed with the whole separation thing as I know I could or should be. But anyway, c'est la vie. So that was my day. In terms of getting an extra washing machine, we'll probably have to go to the laundromat again this weekend. But we've got a washing machine on Trade Me that we've bid for. Well, as far as I know, we're still the only bid, and it finishes on Sunday, I think. So that'll be $350 for a lovely washing machine, which I don't think it's branded. It's like 2 years old. So it's not too bad, I don't think. But hopefully it should be alright. Yeah, so that was fabulous. That was great. And that's our washing fiasco. yeah, and then this weekend I'm going to show the boy how to use a laundromat. Because now I've used the laundromat for the first time in my life. The more you learn, life skills. We're all about learning life skills here. Going to the laundromat. Beans and the cups of tea have gone past though. It's gone past like the nice warmth stage. It's now like getting into the it's warm stage. Yeah, so long story short, the weekend was overall fabulous. And I'm glad that the boy had a good birthday. That's all I can ask for. Bam. What else? Oh, during the week, not on the weekend, Platinum God of War, Ragnarok, which I'm very proud about, very happy about. And what? And of course, like it's as it is with always this sort of thing. Is so there's like the two. What have I? I've skipped right onto the other set of fights without playing as Neji. Okay, I'm glad I caught that now. Anyway, as is always the case with games where in the post game there'll always be those kind of like super bosses. There's the King Hrolf and Queen Gna of the Valkyries. They're the two super bosses. Of course, as is always the case, like whenever you kill a super boss, you'll always get like a super de-duper weapon or piece of armor or something that's just so amazing. But then because it's like they're the final challenge of the game, you kind of can't like, you're like, oh yeah, I've got the super amazing thing, but like nothing really to use it on that I would need to use it on, kind of thing. So in a way, in a sense, that King Hrolf gives you get like a relic from him, and it's really cool. It summons all these like spectral blades, and then they just go and start slicing and dicing, going wild, do a hell of a lot of damage, like my goodness. So it's a good thing that I did that fight before the Queen Gna fight, because then I was able to use it, and I didn't do too much damage. Well, no, it did a fair bit of damage, but like not enough to like knock off half your health or anything. Probably about like a fifth or a quarter of the health it knocked off, which, you know, anything helps in that fight. And then of course, then when you beat Queen Gna, then you get a shield attachment, a rond, where basically like you charge up your shield, and then you press a button and it kind of like launches all these like cool blue projectile thingamabobs out. So then of course once I'd done that, then that was the last like fight that I really had to do in the game. So from that point on, I'm just like, oh, okay, well, I've got nothing to use that on anymore, because I think that was the last. Oh no, there's a second class trophy in it, because I realised I hadn't fully upgraded an armor set yet, so I did that, and then that was my last trophy. Yeah, so I managed to finish that, which was fabulous. It's another game knocked off my game tracker, because I've now finished overall, and I feel like there'll be heaps of games that I've missed out. But overall, I finished 301 games in my lifetime, which sounds like a lot, but at the same time, I'm like, considering I started this tracker a few years ago, but I feel like there's so many games from my childhood that I've either A, completely forgotten I've played and finished, or B, no, it is just that. Yeah. So it's definitely more than 301 I've finished. I feel. Yeah. So, but still exciting. And I've got 34 games on my backlog, I think. Yes. Well, at least the ones noted on my backlog. In my spiritual backlog, I've got about like 50. But at least one's noted down. I've got, yeah. And then I've got like 6 games on. Oh, actually, no, I've got like 30 games on my wish list, 6 of which are already out. I just got to buy them. Yeah. So So it is good. It is, life is good. Pre-ordered Crisis Core Reunion, so that will be arriving early next week. Very excited about that. I'll be playing that most likely Friday night. Yeah, most likely on the Friday night. What else? Or will I? 21, 20, yeah, I will be, yeah. What else? First off, I'm actually just going to update my list. So I'm down to 7,560. And who are we now? Tsunade. And young Sasuke. Yeah, so that was lovely. What else? I feel like there's more. I feel like this week's... Oh! Today! So, this is all work related, but it is what it is. So, one of like my goals, or one of our goals at work is for a bunch of our people to pass Microsoft certification exams. And so one of my goal was, that I said at my last performance appraisal, was I'm going to pass one by 31st of December. So it got to the end of November and I'm like, the one I just need to start, I just literally just got to book it. But I was so like scared that I would fail it, because the two people who've said it and passed it before, you know, they've said it, they've passed it on the first go. So I'm like, I can't be the first one to fail. And they'll know I'll be taking it as well, because I'm going to be doing it from home, and Sunday I'm going to be working from home for an afternoon. You know, they're going to know if I passed or not. So I was like, oh, beans. But anyway, I got to some point, I can't remember what it was, and I was just like, just some spirit took over me. I'm just like, look, I'm just going to book it. I'm never going to get there if I don't book it. I just got to do it. Like, be what it may, you know, be what it may. You know, I've just gotta grit my teeth and bear it. So I booked it for today. And so of course, for like the last like 2-3 weeks, I've just been like, oh good lordy. Oh good gracious. Oh my lordy, here we go. So I was practicing today. It was like, you know, found the website with the practice questions, going through those. Just like, oh my goodness, my goodness, my goodness, my goodness. You know, got to a point where all the practice questions, I was like, you know, getting them mostly right. You know, maybe the odd one, I'll get like a little, you know, like, I'll get the next closest answer kind of thing. But I'm just sitting there, just like, I'll be fine, I'll be fine, I'll be fine. So I said it today, and I passed on the first go. So I am Microsoft certified, but only just in the fundamentals. But it's still a certification, which is all I really care about. And that's what my work cares about. But my work's happy for me, so that is a big weight off my shoulders. Big weight off my shoulders. Yeah, but, and it's just like I don't think I was being bad. But so there was like a website, like exam topics. And like there was, you know, the practice questions. And then when I was sitting the exam, there were questions which were identical to the ones I was looking at that morning. So I knew what the answer was because I'd seen it that morning. And I kind of felt like a little bit, you know, in some ways I'm like, oh my goodness, did I do something that I shouldn't have done? But then at the same time, like, it's not exactly, it's one of those websites that's so public that you would be surprised if Microsoft didn't know about it. That sort of thing. So they must know that it exists, and the fact that it hasn't been taken down must mean it's okay. Anyway, I passed it. I'm just gonna take the win and carry on with my day. But what it will mean is I'll probably, actually no, I know I will, I think we eventually will have to pass 2 exams, so I'll need to find the next exam to pass, which I think I've already found it, which will be like a Teams administrator, which we work with Microsoft Teams every single day. We help other businesses like deploy Microsoft Teams, so I should be okay. That should require minimal studying, you know, maybe with the features that we don't necessarily use as such. Because that's the thing with like the Microsoft tools, is there is so much to them that like half of the features most people wouldn't even know existed. It's like with Word. There's always something in Microsoft Word and Excel and PowerPoint that's just like you'd have, if you didn't need it for that one specific situation in which it's like the tool for it, you know, or the feature that does that one specific thing, like you wouldn't have any idea it existed, or even that was it, or even what was possible in it. So it'll be all that sort of stuff that I've got to study in for the exam. When I eventually do it, like there's like, because I passed this first one, there's no pressure. Like I don't need to pass this other one before the end of the year. It's very much just you know, there'll be a next year thing kind of thing before the end of next year, sort of shebang. Yeah, so that was a little bit of excitement, I think. I guess. Oh, and then, so you know, because we also have to be on LinkedIn for our stuff. So then, you know, when people pass all their stuff, you know, you see their little LinkedIn post, you go and give them the thumbs up and congratulations. So, you know, I did my equivalent, and, you know, had some people I knew were like, yo, congrats, whatever. And then I noticed I got a notification, and it was some advertising agency in the US, in Texas, had liked it. And I'm looking at them, I'm like, who is you? Who are you? Like, who is you though? I've never heard of this company before. I'm like, I was like racking my brains, I'm like, should I know who these people are? Are they connected to someone I know in some significant way? Could not work it out at all, nor why they would even see my post, for example, but hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. But then, you know, the thing now is that, you know, we've been told, you know, LinkedIn, we got to post on LinkedIn because we've got to develop our personal brand, so I'm just like, screw it. Games, but related to business to some degree. That's gonna be my personal brand, so it'll just give me an excuse just to post gaming stuff, but in a way that's like LinkedIn-y, in the sense that, like LinkedIn, in some ways you lose more brain cells on it than you would on just normal Facebook. It's like, it's so, oh look at me, and look at how amazing my workplace is. Hashtag, you know, be a leader, not a manager. Hashtag workplace productivity. Hashtag, you know, here's a photo of me 5 years ago. Look at how miserable I look. My face is baggy and my eyes are devoid of life, and you know, every day I dream about what it would be like to embrace death's sweetness, that sort of thing. And then it goes, oh, and here's a picture of me now. Look at me, I'm full of life, I'm energetic, I'm glowing, I'm vibrant. You know, all because I started working from home, and it's like, I can understand the benefits of something like LinkedIn for, you know, in a professional sense. But it's like, it's the kind of stuff that like wine moms put in with their minion memes on Facebook, but just imagine that, except they're doing it with their work colleagues. It's like, oh, it's just vapid nonsense. I mean, I say it's Vapinos. There's a lot of stuff on it that is really good and, you know, would actually be helpful in the workplace. But it's just those sorts of posts, like, you know, here's me at my daughter's netball game or hockey game. I'm so grateful that my job can give me the life flexibility that I need to go enjoy the finer things in life, and that my workplace doesn't suck the ever-living soul out of me. Hashtag positivity. It's like, you know. Well, I don't know. I could go on a spiel, but I won't. I'm sure Twitch is not the, you know, a gaming community is not exactly the place to vent about LinkedIn. Oh goodness. Yeah, anyway. Oh, that was me. I completely forgot I was playing as Jojo. What else have I got? So that was today. I feel like there's still more stuff. I think yesterday was pretty uneventful. Oh, tomorrow night, we got the Quizmas at work. Christmas function. It's a dinner and quiz, and so I've told my boss, because I'm on my team with my boss, and I'm like, bro, well actually a lady, not bro, lady. We are going to absolutely thrash every other team to the point where they won't even know what happened. They will think we cheated. When the ball will not cheat. I have a very strong anti-cheat stance on quizzes. If you won, but you also had to look at your phone to get some of the answers, I hope you go home and you feel ashamed about what you did, because that is no. There'll be none of that. The quizzes I go to. So I've told my boss she has nothing to fear. We're going to win. We're going to absolutely thrash the other competition, because we're just smart people. Just me and my boy and her husband, and we're all very intelligent and capable people with a wide variety of knowledge. But those other teams know what's going to hit them, because then the other thing too is we have the advantage of small numbers. And for those who frequent pub quizzes or quizzes of the like, you will know the utter nightmare that you have when you've got like 7 or 8 people on your team, and suddenly everyone has an opinion on what the answer is, and you've now got 7 different answers, and you know, when everyone knows that or when everyone thinks that their answer is the right one, and you're sitting there, let's just say for the sake of argument, you are the one with the right answer. You don't, like, what you want to do is you want to stand up in front of everyone and you want to say, yeah, shut up, I know the answer, it's this. But you don't want to do that because you want to be nice. If you want to, you don't want to come across as an ass. So you don't just say, shut up everyone, I'm just gonna, I know what the answer is, be quiet, leave me to it. You have to be like, well, you know, so I was thinking that it was, you know, because of this and this and this, and they're like, oh no, well, because I was there at the time, so I know, and you're just like, if you were there at the time, you would know that that wasn't the case. But anyway, it's all that sort of stuff. So then when you've got the least different opinions you can have on a team, the better off situations are going to be when it gets, if it gets to that. The less people you have to be nice and cordial to. Courteous, that's the word I'm looking for. Because I am one of those people that when I know the answer, and someone's like, oh, but I think it's actually this, and just like, I'm one of those people that does everything in my power to be like, to try and say, yeah, nah, in the, you know, I don't ever want to come across as one of those like arrogant, oh no, shut up kind of people. Deep down, I'm like, I'm doing it inside deep down, but you know, I will never, ever make anyone feel uncomfortable in that sort of way. Yeah, but it's hard. Yeah, so we've only got 4 people on our team, whereas the others have like 6 and 7, so it's just like, oh, easy. Easy, easy, easy peasy. We will have nothing to worry about. In fact, I have zero worries. I'm looking at the other team compositions and I'm like, okay, okay. They all have weak links. Whereas our team is ironclad. Ironclad in our knowledge. And that's all I can ask for. The best quiz teams that I've ever been on. Usually the best teams that I've ever been on. Everyone like has their role to play. Like Bob is the geography person. Billy is the science person. Janine is a history whiz. Like, and obviously there'll be people who have quite specific niches, or maybe a variety of niches. But they will always be, you can trust that if they have a strong opinion, trust, you just say, you got it, girl, go for it. When you've got jack of all trades kind of peeps, and everyone's a jack of all trades kind of peeps, I found that they tend to be where you run the risks. You run risks. But also, as with all things, because everyone's knowledge has limits, and I've got a really, part of me is feeling that this quiz tomorrow is going to be full of all those gaps. So e.g. sport, anything sport related other than like the most basic of the basic, like Lionel Messi plays what sport kind of basic. I've got no idea. Music that's come out in the last 4 years? No idea. I can tell you who Billie Eilish is. But beyond that, no idea. And the other one is another one. History, just in general. In general, when it comes to history sort of stuff. Oh my good lordy, I'm absolutely hopeless. Absolutely hopeless. Like just when it comes to dates and stuff in general. There we go, finally. Yeah, when it just comes to dates in general, I've just got no hope in hell. Just something about them just does not work at all. But if the 10, let's assume there's 10 rounds. If the 10 rounds were TV and cinema, brain teasers, because I've had, you always get a fun brain teasery kind of round. Video games, general science. Actually, I found I'm actually not too shabby at science kind of stuff. What else? Who is match, anything what's this picture of, or who is this person, or what's this logo, all of those sorts of things I'm quite good at. That sort of thing. General knowledge, yeah, not too shabby. Anything wordy kind of related, things to do with sorts of words. So at the pub quiz that I used to frequent, they had a round that they would sometimes have called alphabet soup, and it was generally the questions would always have what C is, or what K is the name of a small single passenger boat kind of thing. So it'd be a kayak. That's all the questions would be that sort of thing. I would like to say I was actually kind of kind of decent at that. When I'm given, like, it's kind of with the crosswords. I think it just comes from my crossword stuff. Like, if you just give me a couple of letters, I'm away. Like, I can work it. I know what it is. I can work it out. Right. Yeah. So I'm hoping that tomorrow my hubris pays off and I don't look like an absolute buffoon. Because at least, in fact, actually no, all my team knows is that they will see a different side of me that they have never seen before. I'm very demure and meek at work, and they will see me heated and fired up and ready to go and ready to kill someone if I see cheating. Like Barbara, home emergencies can wait, we're at a quiz here, like put the phone down, my lady, my good sirs, put the phone down. I don't care if someone's dying, we've got a quiz to do, guys, you know, that sort of thing. I'm that sort of person. Probably rub a lot of people up the wrong way, but like, with that sort of thing, but I don't care. I don't care. It's my thing. So of course, oh yeah, so what that will mean actually, what that will mean is tomorrow's stream won't be going ahead, because I'll be at the quiz. But then on Saturday, I'll be able to tell you all about it, and tell you how badly we thrashed the other competition. Because we will be, but then I'll be able to give you like, was it like we scored 100 and then second place got like 60? Or was it like the second place got 99? That's all. Yeah, because they're not getting more than us. Yeah. So tomorrow's stream will be, won't be, oh my goodness. Controller, don't do this to me, please. Oh great, now the vibrate. I've done some, oh no, there we are. I was gonna say the vibration, it was just, didn't stop. I'm like, oh god, it's a goofed in that sort of way. What else? Oh yeah, but on Saturday, me and the boy will be going to Armageddon Expo, which we haven't been to one for at least a couple of years. I remember, oh my goodness, I remember when I took my boy to one, because I think it was I want to say it was his first one that we went to. We went to it in, was it Auckland? I feel like it was Auckland. Yeah, no, it was Auckland. And we went there, and then, you know, because I was telling the boy about, you know, all the colours of people that you see there, all the lovely, you know, all the lovely, the loveliness. And we were lining up to play, I think I was lining up to do the demo of Kingdom Hearts 3, and we saw a guy with a cardboard cutout of his waifu, and I was like, oh my god, look, and the boy was like, my day has been made. I have never thought I'd ever see one in the flesh, and there it is. And so he is at least seen someone with the waifu cardboard cutout, so his life is now complete. So here's to hoping that we see more of that goodness on Saturday. Yeah. Oh, hello! No, unfortunately, no God of War cosplay this year. We have dearly let ourselves go. So it would, unless we wanted to do like, you know, mom and dad kind of cosplay, it's like it's not It's not happening this year, but it's still a dream that has not died, thankfully. Because I've told the boy, like, once he cosplays, like probably the best thing about cosplaying is when you get those people who are like, they see you and they're just like, oh my god, can I please have a photo with you? Like, I need to have a photo with you. Oh my goodness. That's like just something inside you. Like it's just something inside you just clicks and you're just like, I want to cosplay all the more now. Yeah, so I know he'll get heaps of those requests because he will look fabulous. He will look so fabulous. Yeah, so that's on Saturday, and we have to give ourselves a price limit because otherwise we're gonna spend way too much, and then we're gonna not have enough money for Christmas or to last me to the next payday. Oh goodness, it's the only bad thing about being paid monthly is that when you like hit, you know, during the month when you get those events like that, and you're like, oh, like, even though, you know, I've budgeted, you know, I've got all the money for my bills and everything set aside, I don't want to get my balance down to zero too quickly, because then what if something happens just before payday and I bought too many games and too many swords and all scrolls to be able to, you know, to be able to afford it. Yeah. Well, actually, that reminds me, yeah, because even though we set ourselves a price limit, the kinds of things that we've told ourselves, unless something is there that is just so mind-bogglingly amazing that we have to buy it then and there, kind of our theme that we're going for is we're basically just buying anything that would look, or the things that we buy would be decorative items for the house. So like posters or wall scrolls to go on the walls, or some nice like decorative statuettes to go on shelving, or I don't know, R2D2 toasters, or R2D2 rubbish bins, Chewbacca mug warmers, I don't know, whatever. That's our kind of our theme, at least. But obviously, you know, if I suddenly came across, I'm just trying to think, what would I buy that's like insane? A fully working gunblade from Final Fantasy 13 replica that like fully has the functionality of switching between a gun and a blade. Like, that would be sick, and I'd buy the hell out of that. Because the gunblade replicas I've seen, that they're just the static, they stay in the sword form, and you can't like fold them into the blade. Because for those who are like, but gunblades don't fold. So in Final Fantasy 8, the gunblade that they have, which is literally a sword, but with the handle of like a gun and like a revolver thing on the side. So it's literally like you slash and then you can like pull the trigger and fire, which is what happens, which is what you can do in the game to get extra damage in. But in Final Fantasy 13, which is far more technologically advanced, the main character Lightning, she's got a gunblade, but it's a sword, and she can she flicks it and it folds into itself into a gun, and then so you can fire the gun and she like flicks the blade out. It's like, it looks sick. It looks sick in combat. It's pretty cool. But anyway, I digress. So like one of those would be pretty cool, or a super duper amazingly detailed Master Sword or Buster Sword from Final Fantasy 7. That would be my dream. Or just trying to think what else. I know if there was like a Leviathan axe or a Blades of Chaos replica for the boy, he'd be buying that hands down. What else? Yeah, what are your sort of like the things that you would like at a nerd convention insert nerd convention name here. You know, if there was a thing, a possible thing that they could have that you would just buy in a heartbeat, no questions asked. Don't care if I need to get a loan from the bank because I don't care because I'm buying it. Like, what is your version of that? Because there's so many for me. It's the good thing, I suppose, and then the bad thing of loving so many different kinds of properties and franchises is that there's so many things I would want. Like, there's so many things I could get. There's so many things that would make my day from all these different thingamabobs. Like, is it like Final Fantasy sword replicas, or like Naruto, cool, like properly done Naruto outfits, or like Marvel MCU weapon replicas, or even like, you know, the super duper detailed, oh my god, amazing statues that they have of like characters and things. Like, that would be like, yeah. Because then the other thing too is that, like, the kinds of the varying levels of quality that you get at the conventions too is very different. Like, take a Harry Potter wand replica, for example. There'll be like 10 stalls that sell Harry Potter wand replicas, but the level of, so like 3 of the stalls will have sourced theirs from the exact same supplier, so they're practically identical. And then you'll get one that's like knockoff, like really knockoff stuff, and then you'll get one that is like costs like $1,000, but it's the most like highly detailed. It's carved out of wood itself by pagans on the summer solstice kind of thing, like amazing, oh my goodness, like worth every dollar kind of thing. Yeah, you'll always get that at the conventions, just the levels of quality, and you can tell when people have sourced. Like some of the stores, they'll be selling so much of the same thing that you can't even like tell the stalls apart. I mean, obviously like where they are in the building, of course, but like you would almost think that it was the same stall because they're selling literally the same things. It's, yeah. So I'm hoping at least there's some good stuff and that there's some cool cosplays. I do love looking at the really cool cosplays and then getting like kind of jealous of some of them too. I'm like, wow, that looks amazing. I wish I could do that kind of thing. Yeah. I picked the wrong person. Oh my lordy. Let's pray to the lords above that I haven't goofed. This is supposed to be a Ruka. I always seem to pick Asuma when I'm trying to pick a Ruka. Okay, let's just hope that I haven't done this fight before. Lovely. Yeah, and I think, and the other thing too is that obviously the guests is, you know, I haven't had a look at the guests. I think they've got Summer Glau coming. I think, but then I'm like, I'm not enough of a fan of like Firefly and all that sort of thing to like truly be like, oh my god, losing my crap over it. So I'm just like, eh. Now, what I'm going to do quickly is I'm just going to update the list to 38, which is fabulous. Now, I'm just going to double check that I haven't already done an Asuma versus Young Kankuro, because if I have, then beans, and if I haven't, then great. And it looks like I haven't. Lovely jubbly. Makes my day. Fabulous. Okay, so I can carry on. And I just got to make a note, obviously, to swap around. Which I suppose I could do Nah, I won't. I'll just make a note that it's Asuma. I can do an Iruka versus, I can chuck Iruka versus young Kankuro back into the pool. Back into the pool to get the next set of fights from. Although, doing more young Kankuro fights now means I'm gonna have to, you know, don't have to do it later. One of those characters that I just dearly, dearly despise playing as. And actually, no, I don't know why. Now that I'm on like thinking of cosplays and whatnot, there's always like certain characters of things that I would absolutely love to think about how would you cosplay as them, you know, how could you do a cosplay of them in like a really, really cool way? Like obviously, so like if I take Kankuro for example, you know, cosplay would be, you know, fine. All you would do is just, you know, create, you know, get your clothes, get your puppet, and then just have the kind of like puppet draped around, like you would kind of drape the puppet around your shoulders. Like you obviously you can't do what Kankuro does with it, so you have it draped around like that. But I was thinking, like, could you actually, like, could you do something that you could do a little bit of that and X, Y, and Z happens? Like, I'm thinking about it. It'd be cool, be really cool if you could. Yeah. Especially you could motorize something, because some of the motorized cosplays are incredible. Like the people who get the wings that are like they move up and like the wings move and fold out, and obviously the guys with the motorized Iron Man helmets and whatnot. Like some of them are fantastic. Like the idea of making cosplays for a living, like if I had the skill, you know, if I had the skill for it, like that would be fantastic. I to do cosplays for a living, like my goodness. Yeah, because I do not have the skill of it at all. Like my Lady Loki cosplay that I did many years ago, like oh my goodness. If I redid it now, I'd start a lot sooner than I did. And would do things completely different because my goodness, that could have gone so much better. But it was fun, and I think the main thing is that it was fun. And I was like, I can see how people love cosplaying. Yeah, because like we did it for a school trip. I managed to somehow write a good enough proposal to be put forward towards the school principal or the board or whatever they put it towards, to say we need to go to Armageddon Expo because obviously as an art class we need to be exposed to different forms of art and like, you know, complete nonsensical rubbish, which our art teacher fully supported because she was like, fuck yeah, we're going to Armageddon. Yeah, so anyway, so we all cosplayed. Yeah, so I went as Lady Loki, but we had like, so like my mates, one of them went as Sokka from Last Airbender, someone went as went for as Jigsaw from Saw films. We had a guy, one of my mates did Bane from the Dark Knight Rises. I'm thinking Dark Knight Returns, but it's not Dark Knight Returns. I'm thinking Batman Returns. Oh, I'm getting all my Batmans mixed up. Anyway, did the Tom Hardy Bane, and oh my god, his cosplay was actually fantastic. Like he did a really, really good one, and he had like the coat and everything. It was fantastic. He kept getting stopped every 5 seconds for photos, but no, he was like, but good on him though, it looked amazing. Yeah, no, it was fabulous. It was so good. Just yeah, school trip to go and spend money on things. Oh, lovely. It's great. Yeah, because I think, what did I buy? It's just like your typical, like, I haven't got much money, so I'm just going to buy like a t-shirt and some earrings and whatnot. Can't really spend, I don't have enough money to spend on anything else, so it's me. That'll be me. But no, it was good. It was real good. I feel like I'm slowly losing my place on the list, but I'm not. I'm exactly where I need to be. So after this one, I'm down to 32. Yeah, should be right. I think I might just be able to get to 86 today. Or get down, sorry, should I say, like 7,500. Which would be lovely if I could. Because I think it's... I'm just trying to think. I'm so close to 33%. Like I've got a feeling like after today I'll be able to get to 33%. Which we're a third of the way there if that's the case. Which means, yeah, day 156 I would be scheduled to finish. But it won't be. It'll be before day 156, definitely. Yeah. Well, at least the rate I'm going anyway. So maybe day 150. It might be out just 150 days. Kakashi and Tenten. Yeah. the other thing too is on Saturday, or this weekend should I say. They've got the Armageddon episode, but they also they had they've got a barbecue festival sort of thing in the big park in the middle of town. And so like we were thinking, do we want to go to that? But then we were looking at things online. There's an 18 plus events, e.g. there's lots of beer. There's like a big craft beer kind of thing. Obviously, yes, they market it as, look, no kids, come and hang out. But I'm just like, oh, but me and the boy were thinking, oh, no, we know what this is all like code red for. It's just going to be full of drunk uni students getting absolutely plastered at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It's just going to be absolutely miserable. It'd be miserable. We'll go and spend like $200 on overpriced barbecue stuff because it's a festival. Feel satisfied but not satiated. Should I say satiated but not satisfied? And then we'll leave and wish we'd gone to Armageddon instead. So that's why we're going to Armageddon. Oh my god. My lucky it could have been Sorcier. I did actually see Sorcier cosplays, but no, and I suppose because I suppose you could call it a corset-ish. It was very like, oh, this chick DIY'd this hard, but it's probably the sorceress thing I've worn, should I say. Oh my god, I need to practice on my vocabulary. My parents heard me say it's the sauciest thing I've weared. I would be burned on the stake. Absolutely crucified for saying that. Worn. Yeah. Yeah, but oh my god, like the horns were so, oh my goodness. They were so... Lordy, there was something. There was literally like a piece of cardboard that was cut out to be like the frame, and then we'd gotten like wire, like steel wire netting, wrapped it around something to make like the frame of the horns, and then we'd put duct tape around that all, and then just spray painted that gold. And oh my lordy, they were the bounciest, most like woo kind of steel horns you'd ever see in your life. To the point I think I remember vividly. Walking. I think I went off somewhere and I was walking back, and there was these two guys behind me, and I heard one of them kind of like whisper to the other one's like, "Dem horns," obviously in comment to how poorly put together my stuff was. I mean, hey, I would have been on board with them. I'm like, look, I'm not precious about these, you know, I recognize that they is what they is. So I just turned around and looked at them and just was like, just gave them like the eyebrows and like, "Dem horns," and they were kind of like looked at each other, and obviously they had a bit of a chuckle. I was like, look, laugh at me all you want, whatever, I'm laughing with you. Or actually no, I felt a little bit like inside, but I'm like, no, I'm just gonna laugh with them because I know they're nothing special. Yeah, it's very much something. It's kind of like, you know, you do the 10 years later, you redo it, you know, here's me then and here's me now. You know, if I had to redo it, I would be far better. Been this combo? No. This combo. Bam. Lovely. Okay. Naruto, Rasen, and Karin. Yeah, because I've got like I want to like put like a big list. I'll do a Sasuke costume because she loves Sasuke. Look, I want to like I've put together like a big list of like, I've got a list of all the characters that I want to cosplay as, with varying levels of complexity. And like I always think, you know, I know, like, I feel like, I don't know if it's a spoken thing, like if it's an unspoken, not necessarily rule of cosplaying, but like, you know, when people acting character, you know, like when you're cosplaying, is there kind of an expectation that you act in character? Because I was thinking, like, you know, if I ever did create, let's say I did a gender bent Kratos, for example, or just some character who was very, you know, tough and assertive and grr, and me being like, all like, hi, I'm so nervous right now, like, it would not work. I could not be in character in that sort of thing, so I'd have to pick a character who's also like me. E.g., I would cosplay a Hinata, I wouldn't cosplay a Tamari kind of thing. Yeah, but I'm just like, well, if there isn't, like, if it's not an unspoken thing and there is no expectation that you have to act in character, fabulous, because I've got so many ideas of all characters I want to do. And I always think to myself, I'm like, oh, I've just got to knuckle down and do it. But then I keep saying, look, before I cosplay, me and the boy will get in shape first, so then I'm at the shape that I want, so if I need to expose my midriff, I can without feeling self-conscious. Because a couple of them are midriff exposey, like Fang from Final Fantasy 13. That's been like right from the beginning of time, that's been one of the characters I've always wanted to cosplay, because her outfit, I just love it. I live for her outfit so much. yeah, but then there's even like more, like as time goes on there's more and more that I want to cosplay as. Like I'd love to do an Aloy from Horizon Zero Dawn / Forbidden West. I'd actually love to do an Aloy. I was even thinking of, like, I'd love to do a Yennefer, like, you know, because then I'm like, now that I'm with the boy, I've got to think of like couples cosplay as well. So I was thinking, like, do we do a Geralt and a Yennefer, even though the boy sees me more as a Triss, so do I do Geralt and Triss, all of that sort of stuff. Like these are the things I now got to start thinking about. Actually, I'm not going to do that. Do that one. Yeah, because then the other thing too now is that, so before God of War Ragnarok came out, if we were going to be doing a God of War like couples cosplay, it was going to be a Kratos and a Freya, even though Kratos and Freya aren't an item. It was just, she was like the main chick in the 2018 God of War. But then, now that we've seen who Faye is and what Faye looks like, yes, we can now do a proper couples cosplay for God of War, even though I could have technically just done his first wife, but we'll do Faye because it's more Nordic and I'll be probably more comfortable. And, you know, it'll be fabulous. Then we can both have the axe. Actually no, he can have the laser cast and then I'll have the axe. Be more fitting. Might be able to, should be able to get, or I should be able to get down to half an hour, and I tend to do, what are we on, 24 after this one. Oh my goodness, controller, stop! I'm trying to get down to, trying to get this all fight done. There we are. There we go. Okay, cute little Sindri who would actually, oh, that would be cute. Although I feel like with her personality, she might want to be a Brock instead. Oh my god. Maybe that's what we do. The boy goes as Brock and I go as Sindri. Oh my goodness. Maybe it goes a Lunda. Goes a Lunda instead now. Oh my god, the possibilities. And that's the thing, I suppose. The great thing about cosplay is that unless you're playing some obscure, like, two people have played it, all seen, or whatever kind of character, you can almost guarantee that someone will be like, oh my god, it's you from that thing, you know, and you'll just be like, it is me from that thing. That is amazing. It is me. I am it. Yeah, unless you also pick a character with such a generic outfit that it's not unique enough that you would definitely know. You could then again, I was trying to think you could do, your man could be an Atreus then, because like, they make a joke about how Atreus must be, have the hots for food. And I feel like it's implied that it's vice versa as well. Implied, I think. Because then I was also thinking, I love Lady Sif's outfit, Like, I love her dress, so I'm like, oh my goodness, do I want to go as like a Lady Sif? But then I'm like, I don't have the hair for it. I'm kind of averse to wearing wigs to some extent. But then I'm like, and then the boy could do a Thor, but then it's like, no, he's not. We want to do Kratos, we don't want to do a Thor. I haven't played as her, no, I've just played as this guy. Right, and this one's going to be lots and lots of ultimates. Purely because I absolutely hate, like young Kankuro, I hate her normal combos. Should be the last one. Lovely. At least he's just standing there, which is the best thing, he's not guarding. Fabulous. Gorgeous. Beautiful. Okay, we've got Shino and Naruto last. Wrong one. There we go. I'm just trying to work out what Shino's like damage thing is. It's not ultimates. I've got a feeling it's just normal jutsu. Yeah, I think it's just normal jutsu. There we go, lovely. Let's keep this momentum up. Let's go. Finish my water in that one. Oh yeah, and so I've also been I've been trying to piece together what the sort of games, because we've got Crisis Core coming out next week, so that's going to be, you know, I've got all these games, trying to work out which ones I want to stream and which ones I don't, but then also because I've got so many of them, and there's going to be ones I'm going to want to play straight away and ones I'm going to wait for. Or ones I just tick away at. So I was thinking, Crisis Core comes out next week. I'm going to change up just slightly. It's going to elongate, definitely. It's going to definitely stretch out the amount of time it's going to take me to finish certain games, possibly. But we'll see how I go. But you know, so Thursdays and Sundays aren't changing. They will stay as they is until we are done with the Naruto stuff. What Thursdays and Sundays then become remains to be seen. I will cross that bridge when we come to it. But Fridays, so Saturdays will probably end up being JRPG Saturdays. I might even extend it out to 3.5 hours, because then that will be. And then what I'm going to do, at least for the time being, is I'm going to alternate between Trails and East games. I'm going to alternate between those two. So when I finish Trails of Cold Steel, I'm then going to be going to East 1 and 2, because those ones you really need to play back to back. Then I'm going to be going to Trails of Cold Steel 2. And then I'm going to be going to East Memories of Celceta, and then I'm going to be doing the Trails in the Sky. And then East Oath and Felgana, and so just like alternate between the two until I finish both of those series, although I will hands down finish East way before I finish the Trail ones. But then I will then supplement Eason with, or supplement something else in place of that to go in between the trails. So there'll be that. And then Fridays are just going to be like my other games. So it's going to be like the Crisis Core. It's going to be, I need to do Mystical Ninja because I've got to start my yearly pilgrimage to that. It's going to be some DLCs from games that I want to get through, like Kingdoms of Amalur, probably even Control. I'll just see how I go. But that will kind of be from like next week. I kind of will want to start doing that because I want to do Crisis Core on stream because I'm going to be doing 7 Rebirth on stream. And so I might as well do all the 7 related stuff on stream as well. But yeah, so that will be that. Oh, hello! I'm doing very, very well. How are you on this fine day? I hope Pokemon is still treating you well, which I believe it is. I believe it would be hard for it to not. Okay, now that I'm thinking, like at least it's sort of it's enough of a conversation topic in your Discord, so like you can even if you're not playing it directly, you're still like engaged enough with it that you're still getting satisfaction from the game without even having to touch it yourself. But no, I'm glad to hear you're well. As always, I wish everyone on God's green earth a well day. Do I have any exceptions on that? Possibly. Beans. But I've got to get in the combo for my subs. Got to get in the combos. So my subs beans. Okay, now back. And do that. Lovely. And then, aha! Look at that beauty. Beauty. Yeah, but I like, cause I've had like the big break. I say big break, like a week break. I'm just like I want to like stream heaps to catch up, but then I've also like I want to stick to my schedule. But when the Christmas New Year's break hits, I'm probably most likely going to be streaming a little bit more because I'll have so many games and I get to have more time to play them all, which would be fabulous. Excuse me. Bam. Oh, that's right. The Game Awards is on for us tomorrow morning, isn't it? That's right. I completely forgot about it. I knew there was something else that was happening. Like when I was thinking about like the stuff that's happening over the next couple of days, I'm like, I feel like there was something else. That's right. The Game Awards is coming out. So so I won't. Because I was gonna do I stream a reaction to it, but I might. Do I? No, I'll just live tweet it. Might just, well, not even that. because even though that they've said like this year's going to be like a shorter one than last time, which I hope means that they don't have their musical interludes, because I'm not one for musical interludes. Basically all I'm really like, the three things that I'm wanting from the Game Awards are for something that isn't, you know, for at least on the Game of the Year category to not go to something that it shouldn't. For Final Fantasy XIV to win Best Ongoing Game, and for release dates to come out. I need release dates. I need a Final Fantasy 16 release date. I need a Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth trailer. I need another Tears of the Kingdom. I need these things. I need them. Oh, and I need a Dragon Age 4 now. I need all of this stuff. I need I need Todd Howard to stand on stage and be like, you know what? We're currently developing Elder Scrolls 6, as you know. Here's the release date. We lied to you all. Elder Scrolls 6 is coming out right now. Like, it's literally on the Xbox store right now. Wouldn't that be amazing? That would be fabulous. Oh, I heard that rumor as well. And I think with all the Kojima stuff that's like, Kojima's been putting up like heaps of stuff recently, and I know that Jeff Keighley's like a huge, like, you know, but like a really, really good mate of Kojima's. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, I've heard that rumor as well, and it actually like I kind of feel like that's one of the, I can actually see that happening. Yeah, yeah. Everyone would lose it if that was the case. It's one of those things like you always get those announcements where everyone just kind of just collectively loses their shit because of it, and it's like a beautiful thing to behold. Oh, this in terms of actually, you know, on the topic of like getting PS5. So what's your kind of like? Because I mean, so we were lucky to get a PS5 when we did, close to when they got released, and purely because just it's not what you know, it's who you know, like to a T. Like Dad, his dad was the manager of a game store, and someone who pre-ordered one didn't want one. So, or like they didn't want it or something, or like they hadn't saved up enough money to get it. So he like called me up and was like, yo, you want PS5? I'm like, yo. He's like, done, yours? I'm like, fabulous. Anyway. But yeah, because I know that like the availability of them is really, really stretched at the moment. For, you know, well, I think it's like the supply chain. Everything now, you just go supply chain issue, and you know, excuse has been made. But like, is it still the case over where you are, like where it's, if you wanted one, you couldn't just go to the store and buy one, you'd actually have to put your name down on a list kind of thing? Because I think it's still the case here in New Zealand-ish, I think. Yeah, some people paid absolutely ridiculous prices just because they needed one. Like, they like were willing to buy off scalpers and everything. I'm just like, bruh, you dumb. You are so dumb. Fabulous. Oh, hello. I hope you are doing fabulously. Welcome back. doesn't. Oh my goodness. Oh god damn. We're finding that with washing machines at the moment. we're trying to buy a washing machine. We're finding some like insane prices, and you're just like, hang on a second. You're selling it more than what this, like the supplier, direct from the supplier selling it. Oh my god, controller. It's crazy. "9 AM, man. Is it like is it a work day where you are in server? Or is it just like or is it a day off? Oh, that's good. Oh, I can feel that. There's nothing like a work from home day to just, there's nothing like just sleeping, like I can sleep right into like the second that I need to like log in. It's it's always like a nice break. Oh no, wrong one. And Reanimation. Okay, after these two fights, we'll be down to 7,510. Then we're on the final 10 until, and then I'll just do that last 10 and then we'll call it a day. Oh my goodness. Oh, you pulled a sickie? How dare you? Nah, we've all done it. We all will do it. But it's just like sometimes you just like, sometimes you kind of just need those days. Like, yeah. But no, like and I know a lot of places near a couple of our clients actually, they have we've had to reschedule meetings because they've had the company mandates like a well-being day where, you know, you get the day off, but you have to be doing something that, you know, aids your well-being, whether it's going to the beach, hanging out with family, doing what I would do and just sit home and play video games, you know. But I'm just like looking at my boss, I'm just like, we should totally be doing that. Like, why can we not do that? That sounds amazing. But no, just the nature of our business, we can't. we can't do it. Yeah. Anyone who takes a sick day should be, you know, they should be reported, arrested, their name put on a register. How very dare they? But there's nothing like using all your sick days and like 3 of them have been sickies, and then you don't have any sick days left for when you actually do get sick. You're like, beans. I legitimately have to take work off for like 2 days and I have to get it all unpaid. Fun. Alright. Oh, you started Chrono Trigger. Oh, nice. How are you finding it so far? It took me a little bit just to get used to the combat, but then I was away. She's sweet. And I know what you mean. Like, yeah, having those games that you play for like a week and you're just like, and then you like take like 3-month break and you come back, you're like, I might as well just start again, and then you just just rinse and repeat for the next 3 years. That's me with Octopath Traveler at the moment. I'm like, but I'm too far in to like, I couldn't feasibly start again because I'm like singing like 50 hours into it. Still nowhere near finishing it at all. Like, it's like, I would love Octopath Traveler. I would genuinely love it if whatever they did to the balancing and the combat, they did something. And I was kept thinking to myself, is it just that I'm underleveled? But no, I don't think I am. I think genuinely they've done something, and they even made every single boss in the game an absolute HP sponge, HP tank, whatever you call it. But like, those fights go on like it's in any other game it would be the kind of length of a fight because you're underleveled and you're doing absolute chip damage to it. But I genuinely feel that it's by design in this one, and I just, something about it I just can't. I'm not digging this. I'm not digging this. I love everything else about this game, but just why are these bosses taking literally like 50 turns to beat? It's like way too much. Yeah. Yeah, but I am, you know, a blessing and a curse, but I am the sort of person that I've started it, it's on my backlog, and it ain't coming off my backlog until I finish it. So I'm gonna push myself. It'll just be something I'll just chip away at, and eventually I'll get there. Oh, what's it? In Sevo, when, I'm curious, when you do have working from home days, do you find that you're more or less productive than if you were in the office? Because I know, like, I've been sort of getting like a gauge of from colleagues and clients as well. But like, there seems to be quite an even split between people who absolutely love working from home because they can get so much work done, and then people who are like, oh hell nah, like I will only ever work from home if I absolutely need to, like otherwise I hate it. Like, yeah, like if you're given the chance to work from home and you're like, yes, I'm taking that bull by the horns. Sorry, bull. I should have said bull 111 ones. What's it? Oh yeah, yeah. So what sort of line of work are you in? Just out of curiosity. Oh, nice. Nice. Oh yeah, yeah. No, I can see that then. Yeah, my partner, he's an IT infrastructure engineer, so he actually finds working from home he gets way more work done. Yeah, and like you say, like different kinds of stuff he does from home rather than when he's in the office. Oh, nice. And Angara. Yeah, because I must say, I'm probably on the camp of I would rather be in the office, and it's purely because I get distracted so easily. Like, I do probably an hour less of work when I'm at home than when I'm in the office, because like the kind of work we're in, where you're just doing like client work for like, you could be working on like 6-7 different projects at any one time. Like you'd end up just doing the same work oh my goodness, that you would do in the office, but you're just at home. Like we wouldn't be doing anything different. it just means like some people in our team like working from home just so they can, you know, knuckle down and get an app built, you know, without getting distracted. But like I way prefer being in the office environment, because then if I need to ask someone something, like I can just go up and say, oh hey, can I ask you something? I'm like, yeah. And rather than message them on Teams, be like, hey, you free for 5 minutes? And then they don't respond for 20, and then like, oh yeah, no, can you just wait for this? And then, you know, just asking them a simple question takes 10-25 minutes longer than it needs to. Yeah. 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 Yeah, no, a lot of people on my team are like that. Like, we, a guy who's kind of like a power apps guru, he like, if he's working from home for a day, you know that he's kind of like in like a unspoken do not disturb kind of mode. He will do it so he doesn't get like nagged, whereas like I will probably only work from home if I've got flu-like symptoms that I'm not sick, but it's enough of a sickness that I could possibly give it to someone in the office. I'll work from home then. Or if like, I don't know, someone's delivering a couch and I've just got to be at home to let them in, like that sort of thing, yeah. Yeah, so I suppose for you, you know, if there's a day where you don't want to be bugged by people, then, you know, you can work from home. Fabulous. Okay, what's that? Right, 4 more fights to go. Spoken like a true IT person. It's like, ooh, interaction people, like, what is this? I'm not some kind of salesperson, social butterfly. Oh my goodness. Oh my god. It's funny, like I was if you want like the most like antithetical thing to IT. Well, no, I lie. I'll phrase it. I won't lead into that. But so me and the boy, we used to work at the same place at our last job. Well, me 2 jobs ago and him at his last job. We used to work at the same place. Technically both in IT as well, actually. So before I came into IT, it was the boy and another guy on his team, and then the IT manager. Like, it was literally just them 3 in IT. When it was still actually under sub-function under finance as well. And their thing that they would do, infrequently, but frequent enough that it became a thing, was go into like a fancy boutique gym that one of them, they knew the guy who ran it or something. So all 3 IT guys, you know, all them nerds on a Friday thing, you know, pack their bags with all their gym stuff, and they're all off to go lift weights at this boutique little gym with a personal trainer and everything, and then go have like a dinner afterwards. And it was just like, whenever like we were telling people, they're like, the IT team is going to the gym. And we're like, yeah. And yeah, and all the like the sales bros and the, you know, the bros, you know, they don't go to the gym. It's those little IT nerds, you know. And it was just like, it was just the most, like, when you think of IT, you do not think of guys that go to the gym, talk about protein and, you know, deadlifting and all this sort of stuff. And then I think when the IT team grew, and I joined, then the gym stuff kind of stopped, because then there was one guy on it who, well, because so the interesting thing too is then, because obviously me and the boy were together, and then the other guy who wasn't a manager, his wife was also on the IT team as like the BI specialist, and then there was another guy who on the team that I didn't like particularly, but he obviously didn't go to the gym, so we couldn't have 5 of us going to the gym and leave him, to go, I don't know, sit at home and drink beers, because I think that's what he did. So, and he wouldn't come to the gym if we invited him, because we did, I think he did get invited, but he's like, oh no, it's not my thing. Well, okay, suit yourself. Yeah, so then I think the gym stuff stopped. Yeah. And they look like they haven't worked a day in a workshop kind of guys. Yeah, it's weird when you get people like that. You'll like meet someone maybe like outside of work, and then when you meet them in a work setting, they're like the complete opposite, and you're just like, wait, excuse me, what? What is this? It's like what's that, in my last job, the manager in the bakery department at the supermarket I worked for, she was this lovely lady. She was like really like onto it. She was probably one of the few managers there who actually did her paperwork on time, which I was forever grateful for. But anyway, her morning routine, she would get up at like 2 hours early, and she would play RuneScape for an hour before work, and she was like thousands of hours into RuneScape kind of chick, and I'm just like, holy hell, the more you know. But yeah, like just some people's, and you would never think she'd even touched a video game in her life when you meet her at work. It's crazy. That's great. Yeah, all very attractive people. Ouch, you're roasting engineers, saying that they're all ugly. Roast all those other engineers who are like, oh, I want to look like an Abercrombie Fitch bottle. If I'm not mistaken, and I think it's like a fashion brand in the States. I think, kind of like, what would be the equivalent elsewhere? Kind of like not as fancy as Louis Vuitton or Burberry or something like that, but it's like college, like ish. Like imagine Lacoste, but for like university college students, I think. And Bull, please correct me if I'm like, you're just like, what the hell are you on about? This is like me, like outsider knowledge. Yeah, imagine like clothes for like a young to mid 20 something who goes to university kind of thing. I think yeah. Oh goodness, a load of events. They probably like the marketing or like salespeople have probably like gone to a conference or like the latest Abercrombie and Fitch like work nation conference. They probably said, right guys, we paid $50,000 for some like brand and marketing consultants to come in and tell us that if we put the cologne in the vents, then we're going to attract this particular target demographic of customers, which we're trying to target at the moment with our latest campaign. So we got to do that. Come on, guys, let's do it. I know that that will be being the case because I get exposed to that on a daily basis. You get some of the most, we have clients that pay exorbitant amounts of money to people who come in and are like, oh yeah, you know, if you just paint your wall that, and if you just do this fluffy thing and whatever, then you're gonna get big bucks. And we're just sitting there going, okay, go ahead, do that. You know, when you don't make money, you know, don't come crying to us, kind of thing. Oh lordy. Yeah, they always say if there's like a thing where it's like, if you can keep smelling your cologne, like if you can smell your cologne quite strongly, like you're just like gassing out everyone, or like something like that. But I know that because we need an elevator to get up to our floor in the building. God forbid the elevator breaks down because you can't actually get up to our floor now. Think about it. But then you always I call it the elevator test, where someone goes into an elevator and they go out. You then go into the elevator, and if you can smell the cologne still in the elevator, no, it's too much. It's way too much. It's like, guys, ease up. Cologne's expensive. Oh yeah. Oh, I can imagine. And then you got that one guy who's got BO, and then it kind of just like disperses and like infects all the other scents, and then it's making my stomach turn just thinking about it. Gracious. Anyway, so I've managed to get down to 7,500. That was my goal for today, and so I believe I've gotten to a third. I'm a third of the way there. My goodness, my gracious. I think. So, because how many am I away from? 3,700 and a bit. Excuse me, away from. Oh, so I'm not quite a third of the way there. 3,000. Oh no, yeah, 3,007. Yeah, no, I'm just off a third. No, but anyway, I'll see when I input all my stuff in later on. But anyway, I think I'll leave us on that note as we sit here reminiscing, ruminating, positing about awful cologne and perfume smells. And being the people who put way too much on. Yes, I think I'll call it a day here. So tomorrow I won't be streaming. Saturday I definitely will be. Might even do a longer one just to make up for it. Sunday should be day 53. I don't expect Sunday to be different. And then next week, what's happening next week? Next week should be a normal week. Imagining. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see how I go anyway. I'll see how I go. But anyway, yeah, no, I'll call it a day here. Thank you all very much for joining. I will actually raid again. You know what? We'll because it's the Chibi Miyuko, isn't it? I'll raid them. In fact, I'll do that right now. Right, sound's gonna go off for a second. Do apologize. I do apologize. Right, 1 second. If I go, hang on. Just gotta find my buttons. Where may be me buttons? Fabulous. Anyway, so I'm gonna start raiding from there, and I'm gonna start the raid. Right, We're ready to go. So as I said, thank you for joining. I hope you all have a lovely time. And we about to go in my T minus 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Let's go.